Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoyed some of that incredible, awesome information you're just getting and those great quotes. You know, sometimes
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoyed some of that.
I like that when the feedback comes through. Pretty cool, huh?
Great quotes. You know, sometimes. Hello, everybody.
I think you're getting I think it's playing about 4 or 5 times here somewhere.
I like that when the feedback comes through. Pretty cool. Great quotes.
You see where we can turn some of this off at. I think I just did a little connection inside the let me see, maybe Michael shut that off already for me. I think I had the headsets playing too at the same time. I think that's why that happens sometimes. Let me see if I can turn this one off, and we should be in good shape. There we go. So obviously, I want to say thanks for plugging in tonight. We've got an incredible guest for you. We're going to talk about a really fun topic called success. I think that so often we hear people make it sound like it's so easy and all you got to do is show up and everything happens. I want to tell you that tonight, that success is not easy, but it's worth it, right? And I want you to really think about, you know, when you look at your business, when you look at what you've worked on, how do you define success? And this is where we have to really take a good look to stop trying to compare your success to anybody's success. Success has to be on your terms. So as you kind of go, that tonight's Sunday night, and I like Sunday night because it's one of my most productive days, but success terms have to be qualified by you and nobody else. Stop trying to measure up to what somebody else is doing. Who cares what they're doing? You see, if you take 10% of your time on focus on what someone else is doing, you've just taken away 10% of the time you could focus on what you should be doing. I know that sounds a little crazy, right? Because we're always wanting to check the competition. I want you to write this down. Let the competition worry about you. Become so damn good at what you do that the competition can no longer ignore you. Become so damn good at what you do that the competition can no longer ignore you. When you think about success, when it comes to business, I need you to think about what does it look like to be in the top 10. You know, when I was spending some really good time with this guy, his name was Mark Victor Hansen. What he talked about is he said, pick the niche that you want to be in, right? Whatever the niche is, pick the niche. And he said, get to the top 10. So I want you to do an exercise tonight. In the industry that you're in, who are the top 10? In the industry you're in right now, who are the top 10? And what would it look like if you were part of that group? What would it look like if your name was in the top 10? Would that change your income? Would that change your zip code? Would that change the amount you can give back every year? Would you think differently about reinvesting in your business? So as most of you know, my name is Bill Walsh. I'm the CEO and founder of Power Team International. We invest in startups. We do business courses, speaker courses, incredible lifestyle events all over the world. And we're always looking for new deals. And we're always looking for new resellers. We're looking for people that want to run masterminds for us. If you ever thought about running a mastermind in your market, we'd love to team up with you. Because right now is the time that you need to be able to lean on some other people for some help. See, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, go with a great team. You want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, go with a great team. And we're running 30-some virtual masterminds a month now in cities around the world. We could run 500. Because I do believe every entrepreneur needs a team to lean on. If you look up a book, it's a great book, and I'd recommend you read it again tonight. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And I want you to really have some fun with this for a second, right? Because I want you to think about, in the book Think and Grow Rich, there's a special chapter that talks all about masterminds. And when you start to think about this, right? When you start to think about how important it is to be a part of a mastermind, how important it is to know that you don't have all the answers. And here's the good news. You don't need all the answers. I think so often that we believe that we have to have all the answers. We don't. We just have to have the answers to the things that, once again, are most important for you to get to the top of your game. What does it look like to define success on your terms? And I'll tell you that a big part of success, and you've probably heard this before, but it's who do you spend your time with? Who are you allowing into your life? Because I think so often we allow some of the wrong people into our lives. How often have you seen it that negative people begin to take over your space? And I want you to write this page down. I believe the page is 193, and it's in that book I was just talking to you about called Think and Grow Rich. And I'm going to share this with you because I think it's so important that we understand just how important some of these items are. Because if we don't start with the right basis in mind, it gets really tough to win. And what I believe is that if you'll just take a moment and step outside your business and begin to realize that when you surround yourself with those that are at the place you choose to be, when you surround yourself with the right people, when you put yourself in the right place, the right people show up. But if you don't do that, you're going to wind up with the wrong people, and they're going to get in your head, and you're going to let them win, because misery loves to have a lot of company. They just do. And they love to be around you. If you're someone that's successful, that's doing great things, they can't wait to tear you down. You know, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to see if I can switch to this page, because that's how important what I'm talking about is right now, is that these are some of the sharpest minds in the world that came together, and they all use masterminds. They all define success based on how many they could serve, how many more people could they help. So let me just see, I'm not so great at some of the maneuvering around of some of this stuff, but I think I can figure this one out, hopefully, and I want to show you something here. Because, you know, when you look at this, this is actually from the book Think and Grow Rich. And it talks to you about Mr. Carnegie's mastermind group consisted of a staff of approximately 50 men. He didn't say 5, he said 50. Now understand that he attributed his entire fortune to the power he accumulated through this mastermind. On page 195, Carnegie said that most of his fortune was based on the mastermind that he spent his time with. And I tell you this, that, you know, whether you like it or not, at some point, you're going to have to take ownership of where you're at with your life and your business, and then make the decision. And I do mean make the decision to play bigger if that's what you choose. And I started tonight by saying, wherever you're at with your success, it's perfect. But if you plan to elevate your success, if on page 195 of Think and Grow Rich, Andrew Carnegie talked about the fact that he attributed his success to his mastermind of 50. Now, I believe there should be 2 masterminds. There's always one mastermind you help, and there's one mastermind that helps you. And this is why it's critically important that if you're listening tonight, you really begin to ask yourself, who challenges you at a high level? Who do you talk with on a regular basis that gets you so outside your comfort zone that it makes you uncomfortable? And then, of course, who do you serve? Now, this is only if you have a plan and a path to play in the top 10 in your niche. Pick your niche, get to the top 10. If it takes you 2 years, 5 years, it's okay. It took Bezos more than a dozen years to get to the top of his game. Elon Musk was laughed at for a long time. He's now number 7 in terms of most wealth in the country, past Warren Buffett, past the guys from one of the founders of Google, past Larry Ellison from Oracle. And, you know, just 6 months ago, a year ago, they were thinking he was certifiably crazy. But you know that when people do think you're crazy, sometimes you're at the closest point to some of your biggest breakthroughs. But this is really based on your plan, your thoughts, your success. Don't worry about, once again, if someone else is doing this and they're making all this money. Who cares? Making the money is a byproduct of innovation. It's a byproduct of the hard work. It's called the glacier effect. I know you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just think about this, right? When it comes to a glacier, how much of the glacier do you actually see? That's right. You see about 10%. What if I told you that success is the same thing? They only see 10% of what you do. They don't see the 90% behind the scenes. They don't see all the hard work that goes in. They don't see the half days that you spend working on Sundays, putting your 12 hours in. But see, for you, you know the effort it takes. Most people know the effort it takes. If you don't know the effort it takes, I wrote a book on the laws, the principles of success. You've seen the movie The Secret. Go download the book, The Obvious. It's free. All you have to do to get my book, it's so simple. You just text the word, just once again, text the word, obvious. If I could spell it right. 26786. Hello, Sergio. Good to have you on. I'm just trying to type it all out for you. Because when you start to understand the obvious, start to understand that it's not that we don't know this stuff, we just don't do it. We don't have someone that challenges us on a regular basis. Tonight, I'm going to invite a guest on. He's going to challenge you. You know, for 25 years, he's been at the top of his game. I mean, this next guest I'm going to bring on has spoken in probably 30 countries to hundreds of thousands of people. He's spoken in front of crowds, 50,000 people strong. And we're just going to have a chat about success and life and business and relationships. But I would challenge you tonight to push the reset button because your story is too good to play small. You have too many gifts. You have too much opportunity right now. And I know it's tough. So get the PPP loan. Get the economic disaster loan. You can do both in less than a couple weeks. Don't know how to do it? Find a good bank that does. Bank of America, Harris Bank, go down the line. It's not that hard to do. But everyone needs help every once in a while. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This is a time to recharge. This is a time to adapt to what's going on in the marketplace. This is a time to innovate. And this is a time to execute like you've never executed before. What's happening online show? Excellent. Hello from Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas too. So welcome, Las Vegas. Good to have you on. Even when you're starting a new business, this is the perfect time to take a deep dive and ask yourself, you know, if I was going to build this great business and if I plan to be in the top 10, what's necessary? Howard Hughes would go work for a company at the lowest level possible to learn the process of the business. He was the original undercover boss. Be an undercover boss in your industry. Study as much as you can, but learn to adapt, learn to innovate, learn to execute, learn to overcome. I'm not telling you this stuff is easy. You know that. You know you got life to deal with. You probably have family that are sick. We just lost a great friend this week that, you know, he had pneumonia. He was coming back. He was turning it around. He got COVID. He was home. It looked like he was going to recover, and he collapsed. And he passed away. Just like that. 1 hour. In 1 hour, it was over. Where 2 hours before, he was on the phone chatting and talking and, you know, seemed like he was on the road to recovery. But, you know, you don't know, everybody. You don't know when your time when it's going to be punched, so make it count today. Dig in tonight, not tomorrow. Turn off the TV. Turn off all the negative news for 1 week and watch. No more headaches. Watch how great you sleep. It is unbelievable to see how good you will sleep when you turn off all the negative energy that's flowing towards you on a daily basis. But I know it can be tough when you're by yourself, so get a mastermind. Get some people around you that are going to challenge you. Begin to invest in your mind with some great content. Listen to some Jim Rohn every day. 10 minutes of Jim Rohn. He's on YouTube. It's free. Begin to feed that into your head a little bit. So this monologue tonight is really about, what are you going to do differently? What are you going to do differently today than you've done for the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years of your life? Number one, you need to figure out what it looks like to be in the top 10 of your niche if that's the niche you plan to be in. Number two, you got to ask yourself, who am I spending my time with? Who am I allowing myself to allow inside your inner circle? Do I have two masterminds? Do I have a team that I serve? Do I have a team that helps me? Nobody gets to the top on their own. Nobody. They all have a team around them. And we're looking for mastermind leaders right now. You want to help us lead masterminds in cities around the world? It's an unbelievable opportunity. If you'll just text the letters SBA, text SBA to 26786. Michael Silvers runs the entire global program for us, and he's brilliant at it. He's good. So if you'd like to make extra money, be around great people, get challenged, come and hang out with me in Vegas later this year. Because I'll tell you right now that if you're not going to invest in yourself, you're going to live somebody else's dream. And in 5 or 10 years, you'll look back and you'll be pissed off. So don't be afraid to step outside the comfort zone. Michael, could you put that text opt-in up there for me? Thank you. Well, let me shift gears, everybody, because I've got a very special guest on. Like I said, we've been great friends for 25 plus years. He's someone I have absolute respect for. He is not only an amazing dad, husband, just an incredible guy all the way around when it comes to making a difference in other people's lives. He has been with the same company for more than 20 plus years. And he has led their national expansion, taking them to countries around the world, hundreds, and I'm saying hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. But more importantly, you know what? He just loves to serve. He loves to give back. He loves to make a difference. He loves to get on stage and share the magic because he has such a big heart. But he's been through the challenges. It wasn't always perfect. Guys, just so you know, I've been broke and I've been wealthy, and I'll tell you for a fact that broke sucks. But you'll immediately find who your real friends are, yes or no. You will find out right away. So if you're interested in actually in our mastermind, I asked Michael to do it, but I don't think he did it. Just text SBA to 26786. There you go. It's out there. But this is something that when you have a chance to learn from someone like this individual I'm going to bring on, everybody stop whatever you're doing. Get your notepads ready. Because for 30 minutes, you'll get information that if you apply it, will absolutely elevate your life to a level you never even thought was possible. Because I've watched him do it for so many. So let me take this call and take our broadcast today down to just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to bring on a good friend of mine and someone once again that I know you guys will love. You'll totally appreciate. My good friend, Mr. Larry Raskin. Let me see if I can bring him on. Larry, how are you, brother?
I'm doing great, Bill. You sound
Make
great.
Sure that you guys, so just make sure your microphone is on.
My microphone should be on. Let me see.
Is your microphone on?
It is on, man. I'm hearing.
Michael, can you hear? Can you hear Larry? Is your microphone on, Larry?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Can you hear him, Michael?
Perfectly.
I can't hear Michael either. Maybe it's my stuff here. Hang on a second. Let's see.
Hey, Larry, how are you?
Doing wonderful.
I think I might have one of my settings messed up. So let me work on my settings for a second because it's probably me.
It's great to
but
have
maybe
you on.
Larry, while I've got you here, let me just see if you could. They can hear Larry good. So Larry, I'm going to turn this over to you for a second, and I'd like for you to share with our audience around the country. Share them a bit of your story. How did you get to where you're at today?
Well, thank you, Bill. By the way, I just want to get it back to you really quick, everybody. As Bill said to you, Bill and I have been friends for about 25 years now. And when we met, we were both on a journey to find our place in the world. And at the time, I was
just so you know, I can hear you now, loud and clear, buddy.
Beautiful. At the time, I was leading the expansion of the current company I've been with for 27 years, and Bill and I met through that business. However, he really wanted to pursue making a difference for people around the world. And little did I know that he would turn out to be the single most sought after small business expert in the world, by far. And I watched him grow from the very early beginning of Power Team International and whatever it is currently called, and all the different entities he has, to just an incredible mentor to many people around the world. And he's helped me greatly in my journey. And hopefully some of what I have shared with so many other people has been reciprocated. But I've been in the direct selling industry for 33 years. Home-based business, network marketing, multi-level. I didn't understand it. I was in a room with some people in a group meeting. I was answering an ad. It turned out to be network marketing. They were talking about a lot of money. I was interested in making a lot of money. And it turned out to be air and water filtration. In my early days, I believed in good, clean water, good, clean air. I did that for about 6 years, went to the top of that company after 1 year. And then things changed, and I was looking for another home to represent my talents and to be positioned properly. And I found this startup company that I'm currently with today, 27 years later, and still leading the expansion of that company around the world. And I'm very, very excited about what Bill has done in terms of sharing his knowledge, pursuing personal development, developing a set of skills that are universal to any small business entrepreneur. And he said something to me one time that really resonated with something that Jim Rohn, my mentor, said to me. And he said, whatever you say it well. Don't say it at all if you're not going to say it well. And I was in one of his seminars, and he said, the quality of your life, exactly what he said, the quality of your life will be determined in direct proportion by how you effectively communicate. The quality of your life will be determined in direct proportion to how you effectively communicate. The quality of your marriage, the quality of your business transactions, the quality of literally everything you do, whether it be an idea, whether it be your children, how you effectively communicate is so important. And it complemented my all-time mentor, Jim Rohn, and what he said, whatever you say it well. And I took my ability to effectively communicate in what I do, the direct selling industry. And I've been able to build incredible leaders in this industry through their willingness and desire to sacrifice what's necessary in order to get to the other side of money, to be totally free of have-tos, and to live a life by design rather than something that you must do according to somebody else's will for you to do. So, and so 33 years I've been in this industry. Now I am in doing different things. I've used the tremendous success that I've enjoyed through my industry, and I've veered out on different projects that have become successful, and I'm still pursuing them today. And I don't think I'll ever retire, because I'm all about just contributing to the advancement of the human race is really what I'm all about. Making people better and looking for the good and praising progress and letting them know that, you're here to do something special. Just because you haven't found it yet, just the fact you got air in your lungs mean you're not done yet. There's something more for you to do. And so hopefully we have a audience tonight of some people that really do want to go to the next level. And, my hope for this call, because I do so many calls, usually within my space, right? Hopefully from this call, you'll have one takeaway, not 10, not 5, maybe one. If you can have one takeaway on every Bill Walsh call and you implement, execute, and apply that one thing in 1 year, your life is going to drastically change if you implement them and apply them and you find a way for them to really work. And so, Bill, I'm here for you, my friend.
So I got a fun question for you. We talked about in my monologue, my opening part of the call tonight was really about how do you define success, right? And what does success look like for you? And I talked about, number one, don't compare success against anybody else. I talked about, for me, success rolls back to something that is around family, faith, and fun. If you actually are blessed to have some people in your life, and family does not have to mean kids, it could be family. It could be that whoever is in your family, and
I must be really successful if it's family. I got a lot of kids.
Yeah. You got a team, baby. You got a team.
I got a squad. Yeah.
And then of course, is that, how do you define success for you, and how do you stay on track when things aren't so good?
Yeah.
When there's tough times show up, because we both know we've had tough times, good and bad, right? And we'll talk about relationships later, but through thick or thin, you and I have been great best friends for 20. We can not talk for a year and we pick up, bam, and it's like right back where we just started, and it's great. And it's always nice to hear your voice, and it's always great because we challenge each other. But how would you define success, number one? And number two, how do you stay on track when things aren't perfect?
Well, I think that success is all about how you live, because we have different definitions of success. There are people on this line that know people that are policemen, people that are firemen, people that are that serve the community, people that are teachers, and people that are they take total responsibility for being as successful as what they're driven to do. When you're in love with what you do, you don't work a day in your life. And as a matter of fact, I would even say that if you love what you do, you don't care whether you're paid for it or not. Now, I wouldn't say that would be a great financial plan, right? But I would simply say that success is defined by your value system. Do we all want to be successful? Yes. Now, how you define that success is up to you. I would think that, having a family and a successful family, successful marriage, raising people on values and virtues is very, very important. Honor, integrity, character, consistency, dependability, kindness, love. These are all very important values. So within the family, your faith is important, what you believe in, and it isn't what you say you believe in. Are you living it? Being a Christian, one thing that turns people off from one thing that turns a lot of people off from Christianity, and this is like a little pun, is Christians, because they speak out of one side of their mouth but live another. Right? So consistency and how you say you want to live, and people watching that, right? It's what you are in the dark, right? So, that's important. So success is very, very important if you really know what you're going after, right? So success in the family, success, in understanding, your belief and holding true to your beliefs, right? Success in business. Can't leave that out. I mean, obviously not on this call, we can't leave that out, because who you are as a person spills over into your business. Okay. You cannot, slap your wife, kick the dog, and be talked about being a great leader at work, because sooner or later you will be found out. Okay. You will be exposed. Life will promote you or it will expose you. I promise you that. Okay. So, family, faith, business, very important. And then doing what you love, finding your passion. Look, you got to start with your why. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you can't wait? If you could do it, you would do it all day long. And when the day was done, you can't wait for the sun to come up tomorrow so you can do it all over again. That something that you're passionate about, you got to find that. Okay. Because, I will tell you that, a way I feel about what I do is that it's my calling. I feel that God put me in this place of where I currently am in my role as global, VP of Global Leadership Development to serve my leadership base. Okay. So I want you to think about this. What I try to do is bring value to the people I serve. Okay. And if I don't bring that value, then that means that I'm not important in helping them grow to the next level. And yes, I have a lot of books. Yes, I have a lot of tapes. Yes, YouTube. I heard that you say that when I tuned in, all the personal development in the world is free for you, free. And you just hit play and rewind, play and rewind, play and rewind, play. Got it. And you start building your belief system in pursuing your purpose with a passion by watching others that are not doing what you're doing, but they have these gold nuggets of perspective that you can say, hey man, I can take that and put it into what I do. So when you get inspired, okay, when you get inspired by other people, let me tell you what your mind actually does. When you hear something, you say, wow, that was awesome. But what happens is that you reflect back to a personal experience, you attach that inspiring thought to in the present, and you say, wow. And then for the leaders that are leading organizations, that are leading your own business, you're saying, how can I use that immediately in my business to bring value to the people I serve? So success is family, faith, business, personal development, because you're building your own you're building your own value. You're increasing your own value. Jim Rohn says you'll never be paid more than the value you bring to the marketplace. You'll never be paid more. You'll be paid commensurately with the value that you bring. So are you working to get better every single day? What are you doing to get better every single day? How much time do you put toward personal development in the morning, in the evening? Are you putting time aside to worship in your faith? What are you doing to stay connected to your family? How are you making your family feel like they're the most important thing in the world, and that everything that you do is about how you can be a better family member? Whether you're a husband, to be a better husband, a better dad, a better person, a better friend, a better leader. So success for me, Bill, is a successful life is pursuing and finding what you want to do, regardless of the income that's attached to it. And if you have a limited income based upon your job or your profession only designed to pay a certain amount of money, got to remember, a great mentor of mine says, getting wealthy is not what you do from 9 to 5. It's what you do from 5 to 9. So it's what they're firemen, policemen, that they flip homes on the side. They find a way to have a secondary business of ownership. Business ownership today is easier to do right now than ever before in the history of entrepreneurship. And so I want to encourage you to They say you should never let a catastrophe go to waste. Never let a crisis go to waste. Because, let's face it, companies that are doing good, that are not doing good, opens up opportunities when things are down. Personnel is cheaper, materials are cheaper. There's a lot of things that are available. If anybody wants any type of space to rent, I can guarantee you're in a good negotiating point right now to get the kind of space you're looking for.
It's also a great time to buy some businesses. I can tell you that we are so much on the offense right now, buying businesses. And the same thing you said, commercial space. There are so many deals on commercial space right now. High-end residential. You're going to see New York City high-end residential fall flat. You may not even see some of the commercial come back. Some of the big commercial spaces that they're getting big money for, you watch how much of that becomes conversions, certainly in LA, no doubt, in Chicago, but some of the major markets, Miami, especially in the business district, you're going to see big changes. Let's just say, Larry, that you lost everything financially. Lost everything, and you were dropped in a market where you didn't know anybody, right? What would you do for the first 90 days? What exactly would you do for the first 90 days to go out there and just knock it out of the park? And what would you say is the great, because you still get all your skills, you keep all your skills, right?
That's it.
What would you say is the things you would do right out of the gate to go back and create some of the mega success you've already created?
Well, I appreciate that, Bill, because that's I've lived it. I mean, when I went from I'm a very loyal person. Okay. And you know that, Bill, from our history. But what you need to know is that I had that situation. I was at the top of a direct selling company, and they made some changes. It felt like a divorce when I realized that the livelihood of my family meant I just couldn't stay here any longer. And I made more money than ever made in my life. I was one of their top money earners, but the reality was I needed to move on. And when I left, there was so much scar tissue that I really couldn't call any of the people that I was with to come with me wherever I was going to go. And so I got a phone call from, as I was pursuing, truthfully, franchises. As I was pursuing that, I got a phone call from the most unlikely person, and that was a broke friend of mine. Turned me onto the current company I'm with. Now, of course, that was timing, but what I was doing, to answer your question, was I had this huge network. You all have a huge network. And I was making calls to all the most successful people that I know to just explore opportunities. Some people wanted me to look at their company, other companies I was pursuing. And there is a cachet of opportunities out there that if you find yourself in the middle of this crisis, COVID-19, where, people with restaurants are struggling right now, right? Even though they may be getting COVID help, they're struggling. That you really may need to start over again, right? But I want to let you know that, they can take your money, but like Bill said, they can't take your skill. I know that if I was stripped of everything, I have a family to feed, I have a purpose, and I have a calling, I have a destiny. There's no question about that. You have a calling, you have a destiny. You can do anything you want to do, be anything you want to be, and pursue anything that you want to. You live in the greatest country in the world, and you have to show up a certain way. Remember, you are a brand. You got to brand yourself. What does your brand say when you open your mouth? And this is something I learned from Bill at several of the courses that he puts out. I think it was a branding course of some kind, Bill. But, it's about wherever you go.
I think it was when you attended our Rainmaker program. Isn't that crazy? You came to our business incubator course, Rainmaker.
Yeah, wherever you go, there you are. And when you show up, how do you show up? And when you speak, you understand the world's going to discover who you really are. That's why communication is so important. So whatever you say it well. Rehearse it. Look, we know if we don't know our own story, that you're not giving much preparation to branding yourself or to letting people know the valuable commodity that you are, right? And so it's very, very important that, if in fact you are a person of value and you can take something or nothing and turn it into something, you're very valuable. I want to tell you a very short story because it's in line with this, Bill. And that is that, my daughter came to me and said, she works for a property casualty company in Myrtle Beach. She says, I want her to get out of Myrtle Beach. There's no future in beach towns, but that's okay. She'll figure that out sooner or later. But she said, I've been here a year. I'm going to go in and ask for a raise. I said, well, okay. Well, you think that you're going to ask for a raise. That's great. Usually you earn a raise, but let me know how that works, right? And so she says, I didn't get the raise. I said, okay. I said, well, just work hard. How do you grow through that? Tell me about people that make money in that. Well, you got to get your license, your agency license. I said, well, then let's work on getting your agency license. So from year 1 to year 2, she was working on getting her. Now she failed it a couple of times, and that's normal. And I said, just keep doing it. Don't quit. Just keep doing it. And she went in for year 2, doing the same thing. And I said, before you ask for a raise, let me just make sure you get this. What is it that you do? And she told me she's an administrator. She supports the salespeople. She makes sure everything goes smooth. And I said to her, well, then what you have is a job. And the president of that company, the owner of that company, sets aside what that job is worth. And I need you to know you'll never make more money than the job is designed to pay. It doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter if you speak 2 languages, 3 languages. You'll never make more money than that job is designed to pay. Well, I'm going to go in there and ask for a raise. I said, well, just stay with me for a second. I want you to listen to this thing. Write this down. Here's what's going to change your life. You need to become a revenue producing employee. You need to be someone that can turn nothing into something, create revenue, and bring it into the company. When you are that person, you are extremely valuable to any company. Are we clear? She says, revenue producing employee. I said, do you understand that? She said, yes. You see, I'm a revenue producing employee. If you're the president of your company, you're a revenue producing employee. You're the president and you own it. You're the janitor. You're the best salesperson. You're whatever it is to get that business up and going, right? So in this climate, what I would do is I would really work on promoting yourself. I would use all the contacts I can. I would make sure everybody knows I'm a free agent. And in terms of capital, if in fact you want to start a business, you just need to know that there's a lot of money on the sideline right now. You just need to know the right people. Bill is one of those people that you absolutely have as a phenomenal resource. And it just needs to make sense. It can't just make sense to you and no one else. If you really want to start a business, it's going to make sense to other people as well.
So this has been fabulous, brother. I knew it would be. And this would be a great interview and some incredible golden nuggets. But one of the things I want to talk about before we finish up tonight is investing in great relationships. I'd like you to talk to the group or talk to the people listening today. Don't forget, we take this and we send it out to like 200,000 people and they get to watch it again and again and again. But it's so important for people to hear that I didn't know this when I was 25, but I certainly know it before I become 55, right? Is that, keep that circle tight and really be cautious to who you allow into your inner circle. But how important is it to invest in those great relationships? And what have you done? What has been your secret sauce to keep the right people in your life for a long time?
Well, that is the ultimate. I always talk about 3 things that will, for anyone, that they need to be aware of in order to be on the right track. Number 1 is the people that you associate with. There's nothing more important than your inner circle of trust. And if in fact everybody's coming to you for advice, you're in the wrong group. That's number one. You gotta, but in order for you to qualify to be in someone else's group, a brain trust, a think tank, high level people, mastermind groups, then what are you bringing to the party? They're not going to lower the bar to allow you in. What are you bringing to the party, right? And so that's very important. The people that you associate with, and some of the people that we have in our life are not adding value. As a matter of fact, it's like you're doing them a favor by giving them more time than they deserve. And you've got to make some very tough decisions. I had to, like all my relatives, right? I mean, I have to tell you, I don't hang out with many people that are outside the values that I have for my family and for my life. I have acquaintances, whatever, but I do not allow many people in my inner circle. And if you have a handful of great people that are in your inner circle, let me tell you something. If you got 5 of them, you have no idea how beyond blessed you are. I got 3 people in my inner circle. And it doesn't matter. We're there for each other all the time. So that's the first thing I'd let you know is the people that you allow into your life. It's very, very important you stand guard at the door of your mind. That's number 2. The thoughts that you give life to. This all comes from the people that you associate with. What do they have you listening to? What do they have you reading? Where do they have you going, right? How do they have you talking, right? You got to pay attention to this stuff. And if it's not congruent to the person that you are, you don't lower your value system. Remember, when people open their mouth, you discover who they really are. Profanity is a thing I pick up on. It's the crutch of a crippled vocabulary. I don't mind, throwing a word here and throwing a word there, but no, I'm just talking about it's the only language they know. I don't need to be around all that, especially if they're not bringing value into my life or short-term value, but I can then make other decisions to limit my exposure. Very, very important that you limit your exposure with people that may be family members, but they can't do anything for you in adding value to your future. So your thoughts that you think about and the thoughts that you have, replacement thoughts to help you get through a situation. What are you reading to help you move forward? What are you seeking out to help you overcome a situation? Or what calls are you making? Getting advice from trusted sources, that inner circle that can give you better perspective on, look, friends is a loosely used term. A friend is a friend that is going to call you out when you're screwing up in life. A friend is a friend that is going to just shut you down and doesn't want to hear what you're selling. That's a friend. It's when you see something that is absolutely wrong in somebody that you really believe is a friend and you let them know it, not in front of other people, not to embarrass them, but you let them know it. That's a friend. Some of you have this thought, well, I don't want to go there I don't want to cross the line. Well, guess what? They need to hear from somebody. And you know what I say when I call somebody out? I said, look, I love you. I'm not your wife. I'm not your boss. I love you and I want you to do well. But let me explain something to you. You cannot talk to people that way. You cannot talk to people that way. You must be kind. It's so easy to be kind. People will remember you. And so these are the things that you have to do. So associations and your thoughts, and the most important, in my opinion, because that's where the thoughts and the people are, is the environment you choose to be in. And this environment with Rainmaker and Power Team and Bill and what he's put together, man, he's non-negotiable. You got nothing positive to say. Let me tell you something. You're not going to talk to Bill twice. He's going to see what you're about. He's going to understand, the energy that you have. And, you ever been dismissed? He's great at it. He's great at dismissing people.
It was very funny. We were down in Cancun with a buddy of mine, just sold his company for a couple billion. And he asked for my feedback. And I said, are you sure? Are you sure you want the feedback on your idea? And after we were done, he's like, damn, I didn't think you were going to beat me up that bad. I wanted to jump out of the penthouse. He said, but I said, but you asked for the honest truth. And he said, if you gave me anything less, I would have lost respect for you.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful, in a moment like that, when you can be around people that have done really some amazing things in life. And if you gave me anything less, I would have lost respect for you, and I think that's what it takes. But you can do it with heart. You can do it with love. And the last topic before we finish up tonight is I would like for you to share a bit of how do you balance family with business? You're an amazing husband, incredible dad. And you and I both know family's been everything for both of us, right? My kids are now 28, 27, and 22. Austin, Marissa, and Evan, they grow up fast. And I'm honored to have Austin as a business partner, and we got all kinds of different things we work on together. It's really a blessing. And Evan is really coming to his own in his music business. And of course, Marissa, she's just a dynamo as a physician's assistant, and I get the honor. I really I have an amazing woman in my life right now. We've been hanging out for 4 years, and we have such great times together, and I feel blessed for that. But it's really about, and of course, it's been easy now to have incredible quality time with kids and family because you're not working as much, you're not traveling as much. I don't take many flights now. But what has been your secret to keep that magic working?
Well, communication is critical, obviously. To be successful at the sacrifice of your children. And I will tell you that it's sometimes tough to find that balance. As I was growing the current company I was in some 25 years ago, at the beginning, it was a startup company. I did miss some of the early childhood years of my children, and the price was really a very high price I paid. And I decided that I wasn't going to pay that price when I had my fifth kid, my youngest. He's 13 now. So so what's very, very important is communication. You do not have to sacrifice the things that are the most valuable. Why are you working? Why are you trying to be successful? I mean, if you're not sharing your life, that's an empty life to me. And so, I'm sure that most people are either married, have people that are sharing their life, you have children, but your kids don't care how much money you make. They only care how much time you spend with them. Your wife, certainly needs to be taken care of personally and emotionally, and you want to. She's your soulmate. She's your bride, and you want to give her everything that you can give her, right? So you have to, and when you have that, you have a higher sense of purpose. I mean, I do what I do because I love what I do. It's my calling. I'd like to say that I'm excellent at what I do. I've earned that, right? But I'm doing it for my family today, and I'm not the person. I am not engineered to not work. I've got to stay mentally stimulated. I've got to add value to people's lives somehow, some way, or else I'm no good. My wife is like this. Don't you need to be somewhere? I mean, you've been home for about 2 weeks now. Don't you need to be in Latin America?
Like, get on the plane, get to work.
Get to work. Right.
All right, buddy. Any last words of wisdom before I finish up our broadcast here?
Well, I just want you to know that
let me tell you first. Hang on. I want to say a big thank you for being on tonight. Yes. I love you like a brother, and you've been a brother for me for 27 years. It's an honor to have you in my family and my kids' life, and it's just it's a great blessing. So with that, if there's any last minute words of wisdom, I'd love for you to share them now.
Yeah, just leadership. Just if you want to know what leadership is, you just got to create It's the awesome responsibility of creating a winning environment where your people can perform at their natural best. So you just need to know how important leadership is, and you're in service to your people. Just remember that if you serve them well and you provide value, you will build a trust that will be unbreakable. And I've been fortunate enough to build that kind of trust. So I hope you do the same.
Listen, man, this has been great. I look forward to seeing you soon when travel's a bit more safe, and keep up the great work. Keep inspiring lives around the world. And you are definitely a world-class guy that always over-delivers, and you, of course, over-delivered tonight. So love you, brother. I'll let you go. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. So if you didn't take great notes from that, I don't know what to tell you. If you're not even more inspired after that, then you better get a checkup, because there's an individual that has literally inspired and spoken to millions of people over the last 25 years on the biggest stages in the world. And I share these leaders with you because sometimes we just need a simple reminder that you're good enough, that you're great, that you're a miracle, that you have big things to do, that we all face challenges. We're all human. We all make mistakes. That's part of being an entrepreneur. It's never perfect, but it's possible. And I would highly recommend that you take ownership of where these things are at and figure out, what does it look like for you to find even more happiness, even more wealth, create even more value, become an even better communicator. As you know, we have a lot of programs here at Power Team designed to help you with many of those things. But I recommend tonight, just get a copy of the book. Text the word obvious to 26786. Read the book. Send me a note. Get involved with our free Success Club. You can go to successclub2020.com, get it all for free tonight. But stay plugged in. And I want to say a big thanks for plugging in tonight. I know we all have busy schedules, but we want to pack these calls, these broadcasts on Sunday nights with just some great content. And we love your questions. We love your feedback. So in the chat boxes, keep chatting away, because it all makes a difference. But as we do finish up tonight, I want you to realize also that gratitude power rocks. Just write down gratitude power rocks. So take 10 minutes on a Sunday, maybe after you went to church or before you went to church, and write down the 10 things for the week you've been in. What are you most grateful for? Just this week, write down 10 things you're grateful for. It is amazing if you'll begin to write down the things you're grateful for, not the things you want, not the things that you need or things that you'd like to see happen, just the things that you're grateful for. If you'll write those 10 things down each week and you just read them to yourself a couple times, you'd be surprised how much faster you'll begin to achieve your goals. Because hidden within gratitude power lies something that empowers you and charges you up to play at the next level. I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I don't ask. I just know that it works. And so sometimes you can go with a leap of faith on things. And, there's an old saying that with faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. Well, there's no doubt that if you'll understand the power of gratitude power and how it feeds into really having more faith in your own success and all the things that are possible, because we live in a miraculous world. And I know right now that times are not good. I know that there's a lot of challenges out there, but with the greatest challenges sometimes also come the greatest of opportunities. So I just want to say thanks for plugging in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Please share the Bill Walsh live message. Just log in and share the story or share the video. And I want to say thanks to our team for plugging in tonight and all those that make this possible. With all that stuff going on, be safe, everybody. Be safe, stay safe. Do whatever it takes to avoid putting yourself in bad situations when it comes to your health. All right, you guys, I love you. Thanks for playing full out. Look forward to seeing you at the next event. Don't forget, text the word obvious to 26786. Get all the gifts, and I'll see you at the next event. The broadcast is over tonight, so go be awesome. Go be even more awesome this week. Bye-bye for now.